dress, it stands out to me because it is like me going into a time warp. It's like me going back 25 years. Okay. Okay. Did I say Sydney and Amsterdam? Okay. So that's what I meant to say. All right. But it's like me going back to a land in lost time. And I'm going to show you why. This is an important conversation because a lot of you guys don't know about this. The older women in Sydney, when they're in their work clothes, they're wearing like old muumuus, okay, flowery panel dresses. Now, occasionally you might see a woman under 35 wearing like some, like the tight form fitting, like the little leggings and stuff like that, under 30. All right, going to work. And of course, I was here during the work week. So I was out in the downtown area watching women going to work. All right, watching people go to work as I'm walking up and down the streets. All right, but I will say that a lot of women, they're wearing like this ish right here. Let me just go ahead and show you. Like this ish right here. Right there. Like this will take you back. All right, covering the knees. This type ish. Okay, covering the knees and the ankles, this type ish. Let me go ahead and show you another example. And you can just see it walking down the street. You're like, wow. All right, these people are literally wearing the whole 1990s mama's moo shit. Like, holy mackerel. Let me see if I can find another one, another example of that. So I don't know what part, that's another example right there. Okay. There's another, I'm going to pull up several examples so you can see. I mean, the knees covered up and the ankles covered up type ish. All right. So there's another example there, just so you don't see that I'm not making this up. Let's see here. We'll give you another one. I was like, man, this really stands out. Like I'm noticing that this is a thing. Let me show you this real quick. All right. Even the Linglings too. All right. Bam. Okay. That was a good one, but I paused it at the end. Okay, so here we go right here. So even the Linglings are doing it. You see right there? All right, it's fully covered all the way down. All right, all the way down. The two ladies right there. I mean, knees and ankles covered. Yeah. All right, Andrew Wilson would be proud of himself. All right, Andrew Wilson would be like, that's the proper attire. So we're going to show you two more ladies here. All right, this is an example right here. The two more ladies there. Okay. So from the sun, yeah, but like, yeah, I mean, this is the summer. This is the summer. Fully clothed, but it doesn't matter. It's black, white. I mean, well, it's not black. There's not a lot of niggas here. Let's see if I can find another one example here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is an example right here. Let me see. Was that the woman right there? All right, so they're indoors, fully covered. I mean, this goes back. This goes back. It takes me back to a different time. There's another lady right here. All right, there you see her right there. Okay, fully covered. So this was like me in the 80s and 90s. This was more common than you would think in the 80s and 90s in the United States. But for the younger women, yeah, I don't, they once the nighttime comes out, obviously people get a lot more revealing at the nighttime. But during the daytime, they definitely, a lot of people were wearing that. So I found that to jump out at me like, interesting. I don't know what it's about. But yeah, man, Andrew Wilson will love that. All right. It's possible to go back in time. All right, here we go right here. Oh, another thing about here, and I was going to talk about this. Here's the thing about this, man. This is why you do have to get out and travel, because you're going to open your mind to a world that you really realize that you live in a small world, very close-minded, and not a lot of people can afford to do so. I realize that. That's why we constantly are telling you to boss up, is because when you travel, the things that you deal with in the United States, you certainly don't deal with abroad, right? And people do be looking for racism all over the seas. I'm like, man, you wasting your time. But I haven't experienced any of that here. But here, the number 2 most populated people here, you have Europeans and the English. I don't know why they separate the two. And then you have Lings. All right. There are so many Linglings here in Sydney. All right. That I could have started the Ling tour off with a bang. All right. I could have started it off here, but I'm going to 6 or 7 different countries after this. So I didn't want to get started. All right. I was here just for the flatbacks. But Linglings are everywhere here. All right. There are so many Asians here. In fact, I think the number one country, China, the number two country, I believe, is, I can't remember. Philippines is number three. China was number one. And there was Vietnamese. Vietnamese was number two. So they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Just like, you're never going to miss a Ling here. And yeah, just so you know. And the Lings are like Mexicans in the United States. I'm not trying to get canceled this morning. The Lings are like Mexicans. All right. So whatever the Mexicans are to you in the United States, they're that to Sydney, Australia. I mean, they're cleaning the hotel rooms and shit. Like, they like the Mexicans of the sea. All right. They're like definitely the sea Mexicans. So they cleaning the hotel rooms. They doing all the Mexican jobs, the jobs Mexicans would do in the United States. That's Linglings here. That's Asians here. All right. So anyway, they the Mexicans of Australia. I mean, I can't lie. I'm just trying to describe it. All right. But that's what it is. All right. And it's funny. It's funny to look at it that way. So, it's weird, because in the United States, our interpretation, and this is why it's important to travel,